So I want to get to current time. I don't want to tell you, of course, I'm not going to tell you where I currently am, how I got to where I am, anything like that that could, help the people who are trying to find me because I'm very much in hiding. I am doing all this because I've lived in hiding for, 11 months at this point, and I'm tired of it. And, even though I know that God will work it out, being able to share my story, maybe the right eyeballs will see it. And I'll be able to come out of hiding. But I'm not gonna, talk about anything specific. But I do just want to talk about kind of leaving the shelter. Is clearly like not in the shelter anymore. So was in the shelter from the very beginning of June to December, like late December. Things aligned where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get to spend Christmas with my son. My older two sons I don't have contact with. After everything that happened, they've been brainwashed so much. My son was, my oldest son told me that my parents were giving him $100,000. I didn't realize that $100,000 was a payment to betray me. But I 1000%, I know I've heard a lot of the lies that my husband and my parents told my sons about me. They told them that my husband told them that I'm racist. He's white, and like, I was married to you for 14 years. Or I thought I was married to you for 14 years. I was with you for 18 years. Stop. This doesn't even make sense. They told my kids that I'm on drugs. They told my kids that I'm an alcoholic. I tried to implant these memories of me abusing my kids. I'm like, wouldn't they know if I was abusing them? Like, wouldn't they know? They have just told my kids that I have all these mental issues, that I'm insane. Just every horrible thing that they could tell them about me. But again, going back to, and I'm happy that TikTok seems to be a safe space for talking about this stuff, because it does sound crazy. It's totally new territory for me. But do I think that there's some sort of witchcraft over my children to get them to betray me, to get them to turn their backs on me? Yes. It could just be, good old fashioned cult mind control, where they're literally with their abuser. They're literally siding with the person who has abused them, who has committed SA for years and years and years. And the person who finally found out what that was happening, and maybe they thought I knew the whole time, because my youngest, when he disclosed to me, I'm like, why didn't you tell me? I asked you. Multiple times I asked you, why didn't you tell me? And he's like, I thought you already knew, and I didn't understand why you were asking me something you already knew. So maybe they thought I knew, but I didn't. And even when I started asking my older kids before I found out, before I found the phone and found out what was really happening, I asked them, and I was like, if it's happening, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not seeing the signs. I see signs now, and that's why I'm asking you, and I am so sorry. I'm trying to get your abuser locked up so it doesn't happen to you anymore. I'm trying to make everything right. And for them to turn their backs on me for their abuser, I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them. I forgive them. I have to keep my distance. I can't talk to them while they are under that, but I don't know what is happening to them to make them turn their back on me and choose their abuser and choose my family, who I know knows what he did to them. I know that my sister knows. I know that my parents know what he has done to my sons. I know that they know, and they are protecting him. And my kids are with them. And I forgive them. So I was able to talk to Ashton pretty much daily while living in the shelter. I never went outside because I was behind security guards. I was behind metal detectors. I mean, I don't have any money to go outside anyway. I don't have a car. I don't have anything. There's nothing for me to go outside for, but I know it's absolutely not safe if I do go outside, so I just never left. For 6 months, I never left. I walked outside like to breathe fresh air and like, I forgot what was happening, like maybe like 3 times, but I did not leave the facility. Like I was in the parking lot. I did not leave that building for 6 months. That's a lot. That is a whole lot. And I would look forward all the time to being able to talk to my baby. That was my like piece of happiness and joy. Like, I would literally wait until he got home, like count down the time from when he got like home from school and text him and talk to him. I texted him from my little text app because I knew that, you know, I figured out very early on I was texting him from like iMessage, and his dad was using that to like hack me or do weird stuff. So I had to just start using like a text app and use Google Meet instead of FaceTime. And we would like see each other and talk. So I was super excited when I realized everything was lining up and I was gonna leave and be able to like go get him. So I got on a train at like 4 a.m. from Baltimore to Richmond because he gets out of school at like 2. So I was like, I have to get there early, you know, like by like 11 or 12 to get him, get on a train and get out. I don't have, like, we had our custody settlement, so I have custody. Rob had, when I got sent to Shepherd Pratt, when he petitioned to have me put on mental hold, he filed for emergency custody. But then, like, it got dismissed. So I still have custody during the week or whatever. But again, I agreed to that before knowing he was essaying my sons. So all I have is when we did the settlement conference, since it was via Zoom, they've DocuSign, like we had to DocuSign the agreement, and then they went and like filed that with the judge and the magistrate, and they signed off on it. But all I have is the copy of my email, like from my email that both me and him DocuSigned from the court. So I print that out to at least show like I have custody, and I go catch a train to his school, or catch a train to Richmond, Uber to his school, get there. I'm so excited, so excited. And they're like, you don't have an ID? And I'm like, no, but I have a picture of it. So they're like, okay, we'll use that. And then they look and they're like, you're not on the list, you can't take him. And I'm like, I know, because he's not even supposed to be at this school. He's in school in Sandston now because, you know, Rob moved there over the summer after the custody thing. And so, like, of course, when Rob signed him up for school, it's not like he was like, oh, I want my wife to be able to come pick him up. So I'm like, yeah, I know, but I have custody. Here's my paper. And, like, my husband's crazy. I even have, like, the letter from Dora that talks about, like, how he did all these things and, like, everything. So I'm sure he's told him, like, Ashton's mom is crazy, don't let her around him. So I like have these two like pieces of paper with me, and they look at it, and like the principal gets it and she sends it to their lawyer, and they're like, this isn't like a real legal document because it's not, 'cause it hasn't been filed with courts. I wasn't home when they like actually filed it with court to get a copy, and I'm just trying to get in and get out. Like I didn't want to go from Baltimore to Waldorf then to Richmond because that would have been like a longer thing. I just wanted to go from Baltimore to Richmond. Didn't work out. So I'm literally like crying in the principal's office, like, please just give me my son. I just want to leave. Like, I'm explaining to her, like, my husband's crazy. He's been trying to hurt me. I just like want to get my son. I have custody of him. Look, we had to like do this thing with the magistrate. Like, I go on the internet and like we do a search of the case, and even though it's not going to show the like actual details, like the documents of like who has custody, it shows like what I have aligns with the dates and the case number. Like, I'm not making this up. They're like, you could be making this up. We don't know. We have to call the police and him. So they call Rob. The principal calls Rob, and I hear Rob at the school. So she comes in first, and it's like, he said he has custody through Henrico. And I'm like, that's literally a lie. There's no way, because I would have had to be there. I would have had to be notified. And he's only lived in Henrico County for 6 months. When did he file custody? Because he was filing emergency custody in Waldorf, Maryland over the summer. He's lying. So she's like, well, he's coming up here, and I told him if he has like the custody paper, bring it. He comes, doesn't have it because it doesn't exist. He does not have custody. He lied again. And I hear him in the school like screaming, and I literally like get on the floor and start crying and like having a panic attack. So I'm like, he is going to take my life. I risked my life coming here to get my son, and you called him. Why would you call him? We had to. He just lied. He said he has custody. He doesn't have a paper. Do you not see that this man is crazy? He was willing to bold-face lie to you. He's crazy. Then they call the police. The police come. The police are super disrespectful to me. Like, literally, the police officer is like, you're lying. They don't do like, I show him my stuff. He's like, this isn't real. It doesn't have a judge signature. I'm like, this is why I was in hiding, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm like, here's the email from Maryland courts for the DocuSign. They don't do DocuSign with the court. And I'm like, actually, sir, yes, they do. And then I'm like, I have a restraining order. I don't have it on me. Like, here's a letter from my lawyer who talks about it. Okay, so it's just a lawyer, like what you told your lawyer. It's like, no, like, yes, part of it's what I told her, like when I got, because she wasn't there when I got sent to the mental hospital, but she was the person I talked to while I was in the mental hospital, who saw Rob's petition, who knew what he was doing. And he's like, okay, so I'm supposed to like believe like what you told your lawyer? Dismissed it. And he says Rob has custody. That he verified that Rob has custody. That's a lie. He doesn't have custody. He didn't verify nothing. And he told me that I was lying. And when I was trying to show him like the DocuSign email from Maryland courts, and I was trying to like show him the court search on the Maryland court website, he was like, I'm not looking at anything in your phone. And like when he got there, he was like, okay, we're gonna like try to figure out who like should get the kid. We're going, you say you have custody in Maryland, so we're gonna have somebody like verify what you're saying. And then after like an hour or two, when they're like, okay, we're like done with this, I was like, but you said you were gonna like call Maryland and verify. That's not my job. That's not my job to do. You should have done it. You're the one who has to prove it. And I'm like, you are being like super disrespectful when I'm telling the truth. And like, he's like, if you have a protective order against him, why don't you have it? And I'm like, because I lived in hiding. I left my house and not plan on coming back. Like, I plan on coming right back. Everything I have was left at home. I don't have an ID because he stole it. And he's just super disrespectful. And of course, he's like, he's keeping the kid. You can go. You can try to file custody in Henrico. Like, why would I go file for custody if I already have custody? What are you talking about? So then I get a hotel. I'm like literally boohoo crying. I can't even see straight. They're like, okay, school's letting out. You can't see Ashton. Ashton can't see you. You have to leave. We're standing here and we're making sure you leave this school so you can't see your son. So I have to literally get in a car and not be able to see my son, who I've not seen since May. It is the end of December. It's like a week before Christmas, and you're telling me I can't see him, and I'm standing right here. And I was so excited. I already got his Christmas presents and everything. Thank God I didn't tell him I was going to see him for Christmas, because I was trying to surprise him. I'm like, nope, I'm going to try this again. Like, they got mad at me and said that it's because I didn't have like a legal document and I was making it up. So I'm going to go from Richmond to Waldorf, get the legal custody paper, bring it back, take him. The next day we're good. So literally like the next day I get an Uber from Richmond to Waldorf, Maryland. Do you know how expensive that is? And I go to the courthouse and I get my restraining order and I get my custody papers. I'm like, okay. And then I Uber back to his school to get him. And I'm like, listen, you said I didn't really have custody. Boom, read it. Send it to your lawyer. Reads it, sends it to the lawyer. Hey, my lawyer says it's good, you do have custody. Okay, so I'm gonna get my son. No, you don't have an ID. You're not allowed to even be on campus without an ID. I have a picture of my ID. My husband stole my ID. Yeah, but legally, no. Okay, you wanna talk legally? Legally, this custody order specifically says I handle education. He is violating my custody order and you were helping him. My son should not even be enrolled here. If we want to talk legal, you and my husband are violating this custody order. Let's talk legal. Yeah, but that's a civil matter. You're not allowed to be on campus without an ID. Okay, all right. So I'm like, I'm done crying, I'm done. Like, y'all want to keep playing with me and you want to throw out what's going to happen legally and what's civil, but you, ma'am, I'm telling you, and I even told her, like, Ashton's not okay. His dad essays him. That's why that's why I'm acting like this. His dad tried to take my life multiple times. And she's like, if we thought anything was wrong with Ashton, we would have stepped in. Ashton's very quiet, isn't he? Yeah, he is. There's a reason. Ashton doesn't want anybody to know. Guess what happened to me when I tried to help him? You don't think he's terrified to say something when he saw what happened to me? Come on. I tell her, like, I got literally, like, threatened to get put in handcuffs. Yes, he's terrified. So, since now the hang up is me not having an ID, I'm like, I'm gonna get an Uber one last time. I got an Uber from Richmond to Waldorf because even though my family had stolen my license and my wallet, I still had my passport in my bag. I left it when I went to the hospital again, thinking I was gonna come right back. But my passport was in like my purse. And I Uber, like praying that Rob has not stolen my passport. And that is the video that I posted. It's because I Ubered to my house in Waldorf to get my passport, and I walk in and see he stole everything. I had a suitcase, I had my purse, because I had just gotten there, for 3 days before. He stole everything, so I don't have an ID, which means I can't get Ashton. Which means I get to spend Christmas with him. And now, because I posted that video, I don't know what's going on. I'm guessing Rob blocked my phone number or something from Ashton. Ashton has not responded to my texts and stuff. Ashton's not talking to me. Not only did I not get to spend Christmas with him, I did get to Google Meet him on Christmas, but since then he does not talk to me. And we used to talk all the time. And he used to tell me how much he loved talking to me, so I don't know what's going on. And that is my current update.